Be sure to download our free report on a better way to invest, the time-tested strategy to optimize the health and wealth of your portfolio. Click the link in the description below to download.
Welcome back to Golden Rule Radio, your weekly podcast on the metals and the markets that move those metals. And we're going to start right off the bat with gold this week from a technical standpoint. Miles, take it away.
Yeah, Tori, following on the heels of the midterm election this week, a whole bunch of nothing in the gold market because I think the elections came out with exactly what everybody expected. So we're still holding above that 3% range, just below that 382 fib, which lines up with that 2017 low mark. So gonna need to see a breakout one way or the other. Got a little bit of a wedge pattern below that, so we could see gold dip down into the lower 1200s, but it's been a real fist fight here in the 1220s, 1230s.
Talk about a fist fight. Well, silver is doing the same. It's trying to go higher, but it just hasn't been able to really get close to 15. So we'll be watching silver closely because it is also in a range. High 14s, and then the previous low, high 13s. When you asked about gold, though, Tori, I thought Miles was going to skip right over to platinum because platinum has been the one that's been going up. It is bullish. It's turning up. It's running into the previous low that it put in December. So it's going to run into a little resistance right here, but it could just keep going right up into the 900 range, which would be resistance, and we'll see where it goes from there. But platinum's been doing well.
Sure, it had that same type of breakout that gold did a couple weeks ago, where it was stuck in that range, and then when it finally breached that top declining trend line, just blew right through.
That's actually really encouraging. And in terms of your white metal recap too, just the platinum, I mean, how long have we been talking about palladium? Since we started the show, it's been all about palladium. We've encouraged our clients to move on to the other side of the fence that hasn't gotten any attention. That's platinum. So we all in this room hope that that's the beginning of the trend that we've encouraged our listeners to pay attention to and correspondingly invest in platinum for.
Sure, and I think the COT report, which we'll look at here in a second, tells that same story. So finishing off the metals charts quickly, palladium did make another attempt back up to that high water mark, didn't get above it, but it's still stair-stepping up. So even though we saw this great big breakout above the compressing trend on platinum, I said this last week, I don't think that necessarily means palladium's going to tank by any means. I just think platinum starts growing faster.
So yeah, Miles, we mentioned the COT report last week. You bring it up again today. And interestingly enough, we see actually one metal that has reduced the net short position. Okay, and that is platinum.
The one metal to rule them all.
The one metal. We'll see what transpires going forward. But actually, gold and silver both saw an increased net short position over the last week.
Which we haven't seen in a while, right?
No. I mean, it's been 5 consecutive weeks, more than that, actually 8 consecutive weeks of a shrinking net short position in both gold and silver. And then same thing with an increased net position in palladium was the other trend, and that actually reversed and started going the other way this week. Now, we're talking about managed monies in the futures market, okay? And so that's large institutional monies that are betting on short, meaning gold's either going to go down, or long, gold's going to go up. So just to make a little sense and clarity of those numbers.
So we've seen either sideways or increasing metal prices all across the board, even with increasing short positions since that October 30th report.
Well, I have a feeling that as platinum goes back towards a neutral on the COT report, it will probably, with the corresponding price, probably come into some technical level just for fun's sake when you talk about numbers, right?
Just for giggles, right?
Just for giggles.
It is amazing how that always works out.
Yeah. Come into 900 maybe and have some resistance, and then you're going to have another fist fight figuring out which way it wants to go from there.
Sure. Well, what do we have sitting at 900 on platinum? 50% line.
Yeah. And for those of you who have joined us just here recently listening to this show, we've been talking about platinum for a while now, and it's continued to remain undervalued, under the price of gold. It's about as extreme under the price of gold as it ever has been, at about 30 to 35%. So if you're new listening here, platinum's been one of our recommendations, and we continue to recommend it now, especially now that we're seeing some positive traction with the price and the ratio with gold to platinum. If you take platinum divided by gold, Platinum's selling at about a 30%, 35% discount to gold.
Well, and don't forget, too, back in 2008, we saw platinum at twice the price of gold. That's not unusual.
Yes,
and platinum is what? Like more than 10 times rarer than gold? So that ratio is absolutely ridiculous.
And 6 times the price of palladium at the time, too. And if you look at some of the usages for platinum, especially with nanotechnology and biotechnology and some of the other things besides just catalytic converters that platinum goes into, as that technology increases, so's the usage and the need.
So we're recording on Wednesday, the day after the elections, and the stock markets, equities markets are up a little over 2%.
Happy days are here.
Yeah. Yeah. So traders are happy about it. We'll wait till tomorrow and they'll probably be down because the volatility has been pretty ridiculous lately. But you guys have any ideas on the stock market, which way it's going? Do you think it's going to break this previous high that we've had? It's coming into a resistance point right now. And what do you guys think?
I think it's a little bit of a vote of confidence that from a political result standpoint, it didn't go further left than what was potentially going to be the case. It's still a little bit of a Trump-elected result. So a little more wind in the sails in the equities markets in response to him not losing the Senate, right? But that being said, too, I think that we should expect a little bit of a rally in the equities markets. Personally, I agree with you, Robert. You'll see some resistance. There's not a lot of trust in the market. It's not a lot of mom-and-pop investors that are jumping in there. It's institutional monies. And to me, I wouldn't be surprised either if we don't see gold hit, Miles, as you predicted, a little bit lower figures here going into the coming weeks.
Yeah, Tori, I mean, the last couple bump here around the election doesn't surprise me at all. You always see a lot of volatility right around election time, irrelevant of who ends up ultimately winning. Of course, the question is just how soon do things return back to the trend? So what if we do get a push back up, retest the old highs? I still think we're out of gas. I don't know what takes the equities market up to 30 or 35K. Or 40K or 50K. I don't know what the crack up boom concept, where that's coming from.
It'd have to be more debt because that's what has driven it up to where it is.
Oh, it's such a good point. I'm so glad you said that. And, honestly, that is what this administration has shown that they're willing to do, right? There's absolutely no restraints on the debt issue. And so we're going to have to see what happens now with the House putting forward some bills. Will the Senate accept it and pass it? Will Trump sign it? And they're going to be large spending. Right, and that's really what's going to originate in the House. So that being said, Mr. King Dollar, tell me what's going to happen with the U.S. dollar.
It's going to go down. I think the euro-dollar pair is going to 1.18, maybe higher. But right now you've got the dollar index sitting here around 96. It did push to a small new high up to 97.2, which I think was a little bit of a technical move above that previous intraday high of 97. But it needs to rally in here or it's coming down. I think it's coming down.
Debt weakens dollar. As the debt's increasing, always be buying gold. That's always the takeaway, right? As the national debt increases, you just convert a portion of your portfolio into the metals, offset it. You will not be disappointed as the decade plays out.
Tori, that's absolutely paramount to any of us that have retirement accounts as well. I mean, for the average American, the bulk of their investable assets are in those retirement accounts, already 90 to 100% invested in and drastically overbought equities market. So to be able to take a portion of a 401k or a pension or an IRA and roll that into an IRA backed by tangible assets might be one of the smartest decisions you can make in 2018.
And that's what we do. We were one of the first companies in the precious metals IRA space, still there, managing hundreds of millions of dollars in that space.
And we still have many advisors here at ICA that were with the firm back in '86 when the IRS first made it legal. So,
sure, and the best part about these retirement account assets in precious metals is we get to take our proprietary trading strategy and apply it to an account that can grow tax-free.
So if you want more information, we will have a link in the notes below. Click on that link, or we would love to talk to you. Give us a call at 800-525-9556. You can find more information on our website as well, McAlvany.com. Like us on Facebook at McAlvany Financial. Follow us on Twitter at ICA Gold. And thanks for listening. Have a great week.